Helping others stands as one of the most profound demonstrations of our humanity. Reaching out to someone in need speaks volumes about who you are, your compassion, your empathy, and your commitment to lifting others up. But, and I say this with all the seriousness it demands, not everyone deserves your help. It may sound harsh, but this isn't about turning away from those who are genuinely struggling or lost. No, this is about a different category of people, those who take your outstretched hand and drag you down with them. The ones who don't actually want help, they just want to use you. Let me be clear, there are certain types of people you should be cautious about before offering your help. First, the eternal victim. This is the person who is constantly embroiled in crises, always caught up in chaos, but never accountable for their role in the situation. They thrive on sympathy and attention, perpetually dealing with misfortune. Yet somehow it's never their fault. You recognize the type. They're always in trouble, constantly needing a lifeline. But when you try to support them, they don't just take your hand. They grab your arm, your peace of mind, your energy. No matter how much you give, they never change. What's worse, they feed on the attention their suffering draws. They get stuck in a loop where everything is blamed on others, where they never take control. Maybe you help once, twice, but once you start seeing the pattern, once you realize no matter what you do they remain the same, it's time to step back. You're not helping. You're enabling. You're perpetuating their dysfunction. It's hard, especially when you want to support someone who's struggling, but you have to differentiate between supporting someone who's willing to grow and enabling someone who refuses to take responsibility. Helping is about lifting someone who's ready to stand on their own 2 feet. Enabling is carrying someone who refuses to walk. At some point, you have to accept you're not doing them any favors. You're just prolonging their pain and sacrificing your own peace in the process. You need to know when to walk away. I'm not saying abandon them completely, but you must stop letting them pull you into their never-ending drama. Save your energy for those who genuinely want to change, who are open to growth. Not everyone is ready at the same time, and you can't force it. Next are the constant complainers. You know them well. No matter what happens, it's never enough. You could give them the world, and they'd still find something to gripe about. You could move mountains for them, and they'd complain about the view. The thing is, you try to help, you try to fix things, but it's pointless. It's never good enough. They don't appreciate your efforts. Instead, their negativity slowly drains you, like a parasite sucking out your energy, making you doubt yourself, making you question whether you're the problem. But it's not you, it's them. Being around someone who constantly complains is like getting pulled into their world of negativity. They don't want solutions. They don't care about fixing anything. They just want to be heard, to have an audience for their grievances. And that's a toxic dynamic. You have to understand that someone who's never satisfied will never be satisfied with you. You could give them everything, and they would still find fault. Helping them is like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in it. No matter how much you pour in, it will never hold. In the end, you're left empty. So, what do? You stop trying to fix someone who doesn't want to be fixed. You stop pouring into something that will never hold water. Some people are trapped in a mindset of complaint. They don't want to change or move forward. They want to stay stuck and talk about how terrible everything is. You can't let that consume your time, your energy, or your spirit. Not everyone is open to the solutions you offer. Some people are comfortable in their misery. It gives them identity, a story to tell, a reason to blame others for why they aren't where they want to be. But you can't fix that. You can't fix someone who doesn't want to be fixed. So stop trying. Ask yourself, am I investing my energy in the right people? Am I spending my time with those who are truly moving forward? Or am I just feeding into someone else's cycle of chaos and complaint? Time is precious. The more you waste trying to help those who don't want help, the less time you have for those who are truly grateful and trying to grow. Protect your peace. Surround yourself with people who are positive, who are pushing forward, who are committed to growth. You cannot afford to let the perpetual victims and chronic complainers drain you. You must draw boundaries, set limits on how much you give, and reserve your energy for those who genuinely appreciate it. Now let's address the entitled. These people don't ask for help, they expect it. They don't appreciate it, they demand it. They walk around with a mindset that the world owes them, that you owe them. They believe they are entitled to your time, your health, your energy, your resources. This entitled attitude is exactly what we're discussing today. You've seen it, I'm sure you have too. These are the people who act as if they're doing you a favor by allowing you to be in their lives, and when they face trouble, they don't request help, they demand it. They expect you to drop everything, sacrifice your time, your energy, your resources, and cater to their needs. They never stop to consider that you might have your own struggles, your own battles, your own priorities. Here's the hard truth: you don't owe them anything. Your kindness isn't an obligation. Your help isn't a right they hold. If someone doesn't respect your time, your effort, or your generosity, they don't deserve it. Let this be a wake-up call. You have to set boundaries. You have to recognize when your help is taken for granted, and you have to stop giving to those who only take. There are people who genuinely appreciate your help, who are grateful for your support, who are working hard to improve themselves. Those are the people worth investing in. But for those who drain you, who demand but never give, who take without gratitude, it's time to let them go. Protect your energy, protect your time, and above all, protect your peace. Some people expect you to always be there, ready and waiting to meet their demands. When you help and give, don't expect gratitude or appreciation. To them, your kindness isn't a gift, it's an entitlement. They believe the world owes them, and you're just the one footing the bill. They take your time, your energy, your resources, then move on to the next person as if it's their right. No thanks, no recognition, no humility. When you're done helping, don't wait for acknowledgement. It won't come. They won't appreciate your effort or sacrifice because in their minds, they were owed it. They needed something, and you were just the provider. That's the real danger of dealing with entitled people. You can pour yourself into helping them, but it won't change them. They won't learn humility, responsibility, or that the world doesn't owe them. Instead, they'll learn manipulation works. That as long as they demand, someone will give. But one day you'll get tired. You'll realize that despite everything you've given, nothing has changed. They're still acting entitled, still expecting more, and you'll see that you've wasted your energy on someone who never intended to grow or learn. That's when you have to draw the line. You need to distinguish between those who are truly grateful and those who are just taking advantage. Helping others is beautiful and something we should all do for one another, but you must recognize when help becomes enabling. You must see when your kindness fuels entitlement and arrogance instead of gratitude and growth. There's only so much of you to give. Your time, your energy, and your effort are precious. If you keep giving to those who don't appreciate it, you're doing yourself a disservice. You must protect your peace. That means setting boundaries and refusing to give to those who treat your generosity as a given. Saying no is hard, especially for those who want to help. But you must learn to say no to those who refuse to change, to those who expect everything and offer nothing in return. Because if you don't, they'll keep draining you, leaving you exhausted, bitter, and resentful. So recognize entitlement for what it truly is. Stop allowing people to take from you without gratitude. Stop feeding their sense of entitlement. When you help, do it because you want to, not because you feel obligated. Help those who truly appreciate it, those who understand that kindness is a gift, not an expectation. Help those who are willing to work for it and value what you offer. And most importantly, protect your own peace. Don't let entitled people wear you down. Ultimately, they won't appreciate it, and you'll be left drained, frustrated, and unappreciated. Learn when to walk away, when to say no, and you'll be far better off for it. Another type of person to be cautious of is the habitual liar. These individuals have perfected deception so much that they no longer distinguish truth from falsehood. They spin lies so often that even they begin to believe their own fabrications. They craft elaborate stories full of emotion, carefully designed to pull at your heartstrings. They know exactly how to manipulate your feelings, how to make you believe that you're the only one who can help. Their lives are so meticulously constructed that you barely stop to question them, and that's where they trap you. They are experts at playing on your empathy. They create a sense of urgency, convincing you that their situation is dire and that you alone have the power to fix it. Before you realize it, you're all in. You give your time, energy, and resources, genuinely believing you're making a difference. But here's the problem. Habitual liars don't just tell the occasional small lie. Deception is their default. They've been doing it so long, they've lost sight of what's real. When you try to help, you have no way of knowing what's true, what's exaggerated, and what's totally fabricated. And when you finally uncover that their story was never as desperate as they made it seem, you feel betrayed and used. You poured your heart into something that wasn't real. You invested in a lie. Helping someone like this doesn't just waste your time, it erodes your ability to trust. You start doubting everything. Was anything they said actually true? How many other lies did they tell before? Soon your faith in people begins to crumble. You find yourself second-guessing every request for help, wondering if you're being manipulated yet again. That's the real damage habitual liars cause. They leave behind a trail of doubt, confusion, and mistrust. They make you question your own judgment, your ability to distinguish truth from deception. Moving forward becomes difficult because you don't know who to trust anymore. You don't know if the next person asking for help is genuine or just another manipulator in disguise. You've been burned, and now you have to be more guarded than ever. So how do you handle a habitual liar? First, recognize them for who they are. Stop making excuses for their behavior. Stop telling yourself maybe this time they're telling the truth. The more you buy into their lies, the more you enable them. When dealing with habitual liars, trust has to be earned, not freely given. Watch for patterns and hold them accountable. If someone has a history of deception, don't be quick to accept their words at face value. Demand proof. Test their sincerity. And most importantly, don't let their lies shake your confidence in yourself. Don't let them steal your peace or your faith in humanity. Not everyone is a liar or out to manipulate, but once you encounter someone who is, you must be wiser. Protect your heart, your time, and your energy. Learn from the experience and move forward with discernment. Because in the end, trusting the wrong people doesn't just waste your time, it damages your ability to trust the right ones. The more you give, the more they take, and before you know it, you're tangled in their web, unsure how to break free. The key is recognizing the pattern. Observe their behavior over time. A liar doesn't just lie once and move on. They lie repeatedly, twisting stories, altering details, and always coming up with excuses. If you've helped someone who has lied to you before, ask yourself, do I want to keep enabling this cycle? Do I want to keep investing my time and heart in someone who disrespects both the truth and me? If you don't recognize it for what it is and stop it, you'll find yourself trapped in the same situation, trying to help someone who neither deserves nor appreciates it. When you do that, you're not helping anyone, least of all yourself. You need to draw a firm boundary and say enough is enough. Stop giving your energy to someone who can't even be honest with you. Stop trying to fix something that isn't broken. Because they aren't looking for a solution, they're looking for a way to manipulate you. It's a tough lesson to learn, but a necessary one. Once you've been deceived by a liar, you have to be even more cautious moving forward. Protect your peace, guard your time, and stop enabling those who refuse to live in truth. Recognize a liar for who they are and don't get caught up in their deception. They will only leave you feeling betrayed and drained, and that's something nobody deserves. Fifth on this list is the opportunist. The opportunist is a completely different breed. They are smooth, persuasive, and know exactly how to charm. They make you feel like helping them is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, as if you're about to be part of something monumental. They paint a vision so grand, you can almost see it unfolding right before your eyes. But here's the truth about opportunists. They talk big, but it's all smoke and mirrors. Their words are hollow, lacking any real substance. They aren't interested in building something meaningful with you. They're only interested in what they can take from you. These people operate like leeches. They latch on to you when you're thriving, when you're able to help, when you're at your most generous. They drain your resources, your time, and your energy. They make it seem like a mutual exchange, but in reality, they're just using you to advance their own agenda. And once they've extracted everything they need, they vanish. Suddenly they're gone. You're left standing, wondering how you got played, questioning how you let yourself be used, and how you gave so much to someone who was never in it for the long haul, someone who was simply looking for a shortcut at your expense. The hardest part is you probably won't see it coming. These people are so persuasive, so slick, that you believe them. They make promises and convince you that you're on their side, working toward a shared goal. But it's all a game they're playing. You are just a stepping stone. The moment they get what they want, they move on to their next target. They have no loyalty or genuine connection to you. You are just a means to an end. It's easy to get caught in their web because they're masters at what they do. They make you feel special, like you're part of something bigger than yourself. But when they disappear without a trace, you're left to pick up the pieces. By the time you realize you've been deceived, it's too late. The opportunist doesn't care about you. They don't care about your dreams, your goals, or your well-being. They only care about their own success. And if using you helps them get there, that's exactly what they'll do. They will take everything they can, and once they've gotten what they came for, they'll walk away without a second thought. You'll be left with nothing but the bitter realization that you were used. But here's what you must do. Learn from it. You can't let the opportunist take advantage of you without taking a lesson from the experience. You must recognize the warning signs. The moment someone starts making grand promises with no real plan or action behind their words, that's when you need to step back. When you notice they always ask for something but never give anything in return, that's when you have to put up your guard. You must stop seeing potential in people who only see you as a stepping stone. Stop believing in grand visions and empty words. Because opportunists are out there, and if you let them, they will take advantage of you. They will make you feel like you're part of something meaningful. But when the time comes to move on, they will disappear, leaving you to wonder how you got played. You can't let that happen. You can't keep investing in people who don't have your best interests at heart. You have to recognize the opportunist and walk away before they take everything from you. You must protect your time, your energy, and your resources. When you give too much to the wrong person, you end up with nothing. And here's another hard truth. Sometimes the opportunist isn't a stranger. Sometimes it's someone you trust, someone you've known for years, and that's the toughest part. It's hard to recognize an opportunist when they wear a familiar face, but the signs are there. When someone only contacts you when they need something, when they take but never give, when they make you feel like you should be grateful just to be included in their plans but never celebrate your success, that's when you need to see them clearly for who they are. This isn't about being cynical, it's about being wise. It's about safeguarding yourself. Don't let the opportunist exploit your kindness, your time, or your generosity. They will drain you, use you, and leave you empty-handed. And once they're gone, you'll be left wondering how you didn't see it coming. So stay alert. Watch closely for the opportunist. They're slick, smooth, and experts at manipulation. But once you recognize the signs, once you peel back their layers of deception, you can protect yourself. You can stop giving to those who only see you as a tool for their own gain. That's when you start winning, because you stop wasting your energy on people who don't deserve it, and instead you begin investing in those who genuinely value you, who appreciate what you bring to the table, and who are ready to give as much as they take. Then there's the drama seeker, and I know you've met these types before. They're easy to spot from a mile away. They're always at the center of some crisis, some mess, some ongoing disaster. But I'm not talking about real struggles, the genuine hardships life throws at everyone. No, I mean those who can't seem to function without chaos. If everything is calm, if peace surrounds them, they'll stir up trouble just to feel alive. They thrive on conflict. It fuels them. Without it, they wither away like a plant without water. They can't exist without drama. You try to help, try to fix things, bring peace into their lives. But here's the truth. You can't help someone who thrives on drama. You can't calm a storm they're intentionally brewing. The more you try to fix it, the worse it gets. The more you intervene, the deeper they drag you into the chaos. Before long, you're just another character in their soap opera, a pawn in their game of manipulation. What you need to understand is that these people don't want peace. They don't want resolution. They don't want to fix their problems or find solutions. What they want is attention. They want to be the center of every story. They want you to feel sorry for them, to become emotionally invested in their turmoil. They want you to drop everything and rush in to rescue them, and you do. But when you step in to help, you're not solving anything. You're just fueling the drama, making it bigger and more intense. You become part of the very chaos you're trying to escape, and once you're in, it's hard to get out. You've got to recognize these people for what they really are: drama seekers, attention seekers, manipulators. They will drain you dry if you let them. They don't care about your well-being, your peace, or your success. They only care about what they can get from you, how much they can pull you into their chaotic world. Once you're trapped, they keep feeding you their drama, their crises, their stories, and the more you try to help, the deeper you get pulled into their whirlwind. Helping them isn't helping, it's enabling. It feeds the never-ending cycle of their chaos. When you finally realize this, when you wake up and see that you're not actually solving anything, it's already too late. You're too invested. You've given too much of yourself, and you're left with nothing but a hard-earned lesson. Now, I'm not saying you shouldn't be there for people who truly need help. I'm not saying never offer support, but you have to be smart about it. You have to know when to step back, when to recognize that you're not helping but enabling the problem. You need the strength to say no when your involvement only worsens things. That takes courage. It takes knowing your limits, understanding what you can handle, and recognizing when it's time to walk away. It's not about being cold or uncaring. It's about knowing your worth. It's about valuing your time and energy. It's about realizing there are people out there who genuinely need your help in ways that truly matter. Don't waste your energy on someone just looking to create a scene. Don't give your power to someone more interested in drama than in real change. Protect yourself, protect your peace. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one who controls what you allow into your life. And if you allow drama seekers in, you're allowing chaos to reign. So keep your distance, guard your peace, and watch how your life transforms when you stop letting them pull you into their storms. Now, let's talk about the taker. These people only show up when they need something. They don't give, they just take. And sometimes, they're not even obvious about it. They're not the ones openly asking for help all the time. No, they're craftier than that. They'll smile, make you feel like a genuine friend, like there's a real connection. But when it's your turn to need something, they vanish. Takers are masters at taking. They know how to extract what they want from you without you even realizing it. They don't offer anything in return. No love, no support, no loyalty. It's always about them, their problems, their needs, their goals. They're constantly asking for favors, help, or something from you. When you assist them, they're grateful, saying all the right things, showing the appreciation you want to see, and for a moment you believe everything is good. But the problem is, you're doing all the giving, and they're doing all the taking. You're the one putting in the time, energy, and effort. When it's time for them to reciprocate or return the favor, they're nowhere to be found. They've already moved on to the next person, the next opportunity to take, drain, and use someone else. Helping a taker leaves you feeling exhausted and empty. You give and give, but get nothing in return. And the worst part, you feel like you should have known better. You question why you bothered at all. You wonder, did I miss the signs? Was I blind to this person's true intentions? The truth is, you probably saw the signs. Deep down, you knew this person was never going to give what you gave them. But takers are good at pretending. They're skilled at making you feel like they're there for you, like they're truly invested in the relationship, like they're putting in the effort. But when it's time to give back, they always have an excuse. Always busy, always unavailable. That's when you realize you've been played. The reality is, real relationships are reciprocal. You give and you receive. That's the balance. It's not one-sided. But takers don't care about balance. They don't care about fairness or giving. They only care about what they can take from you. Once they've drained you dry, they move on to the next person. It's not malicious. It's just their nature. They don't even see it as a problem. To them, it's just the way things are. They've conditioned themselves to believe everyone around exists to serve their needs and help them get ahead. They'll take your time, energy, and resources without a second thought about how much you've given or lost. So what do? First, stop giving without receiving. Stop pouring into someone who will never pour into you. Stop enabling their behavior and be prepared to walk away when you see the signs. If someone only reaches out when they need something, think twice before giving more of your time, resources, or love. If it's always about their needs, their problems, their goals, and never about yours. Recognize that this isn't a relationship, it's an arrangement where you're the only one giving. You deserve better than that. It's not selfish or cold, it's self-respect. You deserve relationships where there's mutual give and take. You deserve to be surrounded by people who lift you up just as much as you lift them. When you start recognizing takers in your life, when you set boundaries and refuse to give without receiving, your life will change. Your relationships will become more meaningful, more fulfilling. You'll stop feeling drained and start feeling energized because you'll be investing in people who invest back. So watch for the takers, recognize them early, and don't let them drain you. Protect your peace, your energy, and most importantly, protect yourself. Guard your heart. Make sure the people in your life are there to build with you, not just take from you. Because you deserve that. You deserve relationships where love flows both ways. Next, there's the manipulator. These individuals don't just want your help, they crave control. It's not enough for them that you do something kind. They want to own you in that moment. They twist situations to center themselves, and before you even realize it, you're no longer acting out of generosity, but out of obligation. It's no longer kindness. It's surrender. They know exactly what they're doing. They observe you closely, identify your vulnerabilities, and learn precisely which buttons to push. They sense when you're emotionally exposed, when your feelings are ripe for manipulation, and that's when they strike. They spin just enough of a story to stir your empathy, to make you feel sorry for them. Before you realize it, you're agreeing to things you don't truly want to, doing favors for them you wouldn't do for anyone else, all because they have perfected the art of guilt-tripping you, making you believe their problems are your responsibility. Helping a manipulator isn't like helping someone genuinely in need. No, helping a manipulator is like feeding a beast that only grows hungrier. You're not nurturing their growth. You're fueling their sense of entitlement. The more you give, the more they demand. The more they receive, the more they want. They don't appreciate what you offer. They don't learn or change because of it. They just keep taking, and for them, it's never enough. No matter how much you offer, they will always want more. It's never about mutual respect or sincere gratitude. It's about power, control, about bending you to their will. Here's the tricky part. You think you're being kind. You think you're helping. You believe you're doing the right thing by giving, by being generous with your time, your energy, and your resources. But in reality, you're enabling them. You're handing them more power, more control, while sacrificing your own peace. You're letting them trap you in an emotional cage where you feel indebted, where you feel compelled to keep giving because they've manipulated you into believing you're responsible for their happiness. But here's the truth. Happiness, success, fulfillment, those aren't your responsibilities. The only person's happiness you're responsible for is your own. It's easy to fall for their tactics. It's easy to get tangled in their web because they know exactly what to say and how to act to make you feel like the villain if you refuse them. They'll make you feel selfish, like a terrible person for saying no, even when deep down you know that helping them will do more harm than good. You know your help won't fix anything. It will only give them another excuse to keep asking, another chance to manipulate, another opportunity to drain. So you give in. You say yes, you help, and in the end, you're left feeling empty and used, as if a part of yourself has been lost. That's the harsh reality about manipulators. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care what you sacrifice. All they care about is what they can extract from you.